Good morning and welcome to the start of our labor and delivery vlog. It is December 26th. It is 7:30 in the morning. We are scheduled for an induction at 9 a.m., which is great. I mean, the alarms went off early this morning, the day after Christmas. But nonetheless, I guess we can rest when we get to the hospital, maybe. But we're excited. Today is a big day. Early morning, big day. So yesterday was Christmas, and Christmas was good. It was pretty quiet, and it was very nice because nobody knows that we're inducing today. We decided not to tell anyone that we are doing an induction at all, let alone an induction today. And I just feel like it was going to stress me out with a bunch of people knowing, with all the questions and check-ins and all of that stuff. So I just said, you know what? My husband and I said, let's just not tell anyone. And when the baby's out and mom and baby are recovered and healthy is when we'll tell everybody. So I know I'm going to catch a little bit of flack for that, but I think it's going to be worth it. I am just waiting for a pickup for the dogs. They're going to go play with their friends for a few days, which will be so nice for them and so good for them. They love going to this place, to this house for sitting, and they have so many friends there, so they're going to be thrilled. But by the time we get back home, you guys are going to be big brother and big sister. Isn't that nuts? They're crazy. But for the time being, we need to get some breakfast going. I actually also need to call the hospital in about half an hour just to make sure that they have room for us. So we'll make that call here in a little bit. But for now, it's breakfast time.
What's up? Today is induction day. So we're here in the city of Raleigh Love. We're downtown. That is the University of Pennsylvania's field, otherwise known as Franklin Field. But we are here getting ready. This is the baby's kind of area right here. And we have Mama sitting over here. She's all ready to go. And we have our room. So fun times. So it is currently 12:30 midnight. 12:30 midnight. As you can see, a lot of stuff is closed. So I'm actually headed over to the cafeteria in the pavilion, which is a little bit of a walk, but Mama Sugar's a little low. She needs to eat, and all the food upstairs is just kind of. So, see what we can go find. Keep her well nourished, keep her vitals looking good. Go from there.
Okay, what a whirlwind. We are working on our, way past 30 hours with this induction. And it's actually been going pretty good. Not bad, actually. We've done all the things. Cytotech, Foley balloon, which turned out to be not the worst thing. We did get it in and we got it out, so that was fine. That was all yesterday. Went to bed and woke up and my water broke at around 11:30 this morning, which is great, all on its own. So we're moving. We're 5 centimeters right now. It's currently about 6 p.m. on the 27th. And seems like things are stalling just a little bit. So they've inserted a straw to help measure contractions and to see if we can get any further. See if they need to up the Pitocin anymore and see if my cervix will continue to dilate. But it's really not bad. I didn't get the epidural this morning. I lasted all 24 hours with no epidural, and to be honest, I probably could have lasted longer. I just didn't want to end this and have the delivery without one, because I don't know what I'm doing. My body's never given birth. Not to say I probably couldn't have handled it. I might have been able to, but I was getting nervous and I didn't want to end up delivering with no epidural. So the epidural placement was actually not crazy, not terrible. The worst part was the local anesthesia. So once we got that over with, the actual placement of the epidural was great and it's working great. I just feel like it's making me very sleepy, but I still have pretty good range of motion. Like I can move my toes, I can flip over from side to side, which is all really nice. But like I said, it's 6 p.m. on the 27th. We got here at 9 a.m. on the 26th. So it's a lot of time spent here, but we will see what happens. We'll try to continue to keep you guys updated.
Night 2. Still waiting for baby girl to arrive. It's been now 6 p.m. So we got here almost 36 hours ago, so about 33 hours ago. We didn't start everything until about 30-ish hours ago, because they started everything at 11. But like check-in, everything, yeah, 33 hours. So it's been kind of long, but it's the process, and just gonna roll with it. So Franz went back to the OR because we had to do a C-section. So I'm sitting here waiting to go back to the OR myself. I have to do the initial visit with her, get her all set up. But once she is all set up and ready to go, then I'll head on back. We'll see baby here soon.
Let's go ahead and finish this labor and delivery vlog up. I do apologize, it wasn't much of a vlog at all, just because things got really slow and really busy all at the same time. So the last time you guys heard from me, I think I was already in the hospital, and I was maybe had a Foley balloon in. I don't know, maybe the Foley balloon had just fallen out, one of those two. So since then, it's been a couple days now, and we have had a baby, so that's amazing. But the experience is not what it seemed to be. It's not what I thought it was going to be. So basically, my water broke the day after we got to the hospital for the induction at 11:30, and I had made very little to no physical changes as far as my cervix goes. So they were checking on me every 3 or 4 hours, and I was kind of stalled after the Foley balloon fell out. I had stalled at 5 centimeters for 14 hours. So the hospital's policy here is after 11 hours, they start wondering, like, okay, is this really going to happen? And do we need to be talking about a C-section and calling this a failed induction? So they say between 11 and 18 hours is when they start, trying to make those decisions. And at the 14-hour mark, they came into my room so nicely. We have had the best nurses here. Everyone has been so sweet and so kind and so just respectful. So we had the sweetest nurse came in, and she was kind of like, how you doing? And then a doctor came in to check me. And she was like, okay, we're still at 5. And I already knew what that meant. That means, we're on the way to looking for potentially a C-section. So, which is fine. It was totally fine. I did not envision my birth going a certain way on purpose, because I do know that when you make plans, sometimes plans change. And I just did not want to be caught off guard with a change of plans. So before me, they had an emergency C-section situation with another patient. So they said, well, you're fine to hang out. And actually, while we tend this other patient, we'll see if you dilate anymore. And if you do, then great. Maybe we'll go on to have a vaginal delivery. But if you don't, then you'll be next in the morning for a C-section. And I said, okay. I was a little bit emotional because I don't even know why. Like I said, I know plans change. That's why I didn't make any plans. It was fine. I guess I just was sad for myself. I don't know, which is kind of ridiculous to say out loud. I don't know. While I didn't make a plan, I guess the plan I didn't make is not what I envisioned the birth to be, so that's fine. But anyways, I got rolled into the operating room at about 4:30 for this C-section, and at 5:21 we have our beautiful, beautiful little girl. We could not be any more excited. I will tell you guys about this C-section though. So if you are planning to have a C-section, not planning to have a C-section, please, if you've never had one before, rest assured I actually had a very good experience. I'll have to say I actually had a good induction experience in total, even though it was considered a failed induction. And we were in the hospital room for probably 36 hours, trying to get everything where it was supposed to be, and it just wasn't happening. I still would call my induction a positive experience. Rolled into the emergency room or operating room. Everybody was still so kind, so nice. The only thing I didn't care for as far as the C-section went was how shaky I got. Like, I got the shakes bad. And then after the shakes and after she came out and Melvin got to hold her, and they put her to my cheek so I could kiss her. After I got the shakes, I kind of like spaced out. Like, my recovery from the C-section yesterday, so that was the day it happened, was really spacey. I couldn't sit up without getting really dizzy and vomiting. Couldn't really concentrate. I couldn't keep my eyes awake, like, to save my life. I was literally nodding off like every 30 seconds. And if you talk to my husband, he'll tell you he was actually a little bit concerned, because that's just not me. Like, that's just not me. So I have to assume it has something to do with the spinal tap that gets done, or with whatever medication that is for a C-section. So I will say that is the only time I've heard about someone kind of like spacing totally out after a C-section. But instead of like the 2 hours that we were supposed to spend in post-op for recovery, we spent like 6 hours there because I just couldn't get it together. At one point I was like on oxygen, and my oxygen levels are really low, so they put oxygen up my nose, and everything was such a blur that I remember late last night after we got to recovery postpartum room, I asked my husband, I said, Melvin, was I on oxygen at some point yesterday? And he goes, yep, you were. So that just goes to show kind of how out of it I was and how much of a blur the recovery was for the C-section. But we could not be happier that we have this beautiful baby girl. I cannot believe that she's ours. Like, cannot believe that she's ours. So Melvin and I are just head over heels in love with this little girl. We can't wait to share her with as many people that are going to love her the way we love her. So that is the final update on this labor and delivery vlog. I wouldn't call it much of a vlog than just a series of updates, because like I said, now it makes sense when I say things got busy and things went so slow at the same time. So because of the C-section, we are guaranteed at the hospital for a couple more days. As far as my recovery goes, our sweet daughter has passed all her tests, her hearing test, bilirubin. She looks amazing, and all of her procedures and like things that they had to do at a 24-hour mark. So I'm glad that she is doing so well. I am also doing well. I am sore, but I wouldn't say I'm in pain. So I'm getting up frequently as I can, and trying to walk around and not be active, but the more I get up, the better off I'll feel. But like I said, the nurses have been great, staying on top of my pain medication, giving me a belly binder, all of those things. So yeah, that is the update, and can't wait for you all to meet our sweet girl.